I have a light at the end of the tunnel. I kind of know how I want my book to end, and I don't know anything about the whatever 300 pages in between, and you discover it as you go. You know, when I start writing a book, things will happen in those 300 pages that I didn't see when I started writing page 1. You just don't know where it's going to go, you know, on this map, but eventually it leads to that light.
Writers is made possible in part by a generous grant from the William Battle and Sarah Mel Repshire Crooks Foundation, celebrating the legacy of Mississippi's Eudora Welty. Well, you know that old saying, crime does not pay. Couldn't be further from the truth for our three guests this time on Writers, because these are three of the most prolific and well-known crime writers in America. I'm Gene Everest. Welcome to our show. George Pelecanos, award-winning, best-selling author, sets his crime novels in or near Washington, D.C. He was also a producer on HBO's acclaimed series, The Wire. Michael Connolly, a voracious young reader, he decided early on he also wanted to write. Of his 20-plus published books, over half starred Detective Harry Bosch. Elmore Leonard, maybe the dean of the detective genre, author of 3:10 to Yuma, Get Shorty, and 41 more novels. He started out writing westerns, but switched to crime in the late 50s. Welcome to all of you. We are here at this table to celebrate, as we do, the craft of writers. You three have never been together before. Why is that? Why?
No, not like this. No.
Never met each other before. Well, maybe the two.
We've met. We haven't done the, I guess, the get together and talk about writing.
Okay. Well, that's what we're going to do. We're going to talk about writing. Can we begin with you? How did you begin?
How did I begin? Through reading. Probably the same answer of everybody. You know, I was a voracious reader as a kid, then finally I hit something that took it another step in my mind. Light bulb goes off, and I wanted to more than just read this stuff. I wanted to write it.
And to get there, you decided to become a journalist? Was that?
Yeah, I mean, I wanted to write crime novels in particular, and I didn't know much about it. Can't say I spent any time in jails or anything like that, or with police. Spent one night in a police station once as a witness to a crime. So I thought, you know, if I went into journalism, I could get a press pass, get into police stations, meet detectives. And of course, you'd also be writing every day, so you'd sharpen your skills or your craft as a writer. So it was kind of a two-prong idea.
So you're on this career path, and it begins where?
It started in Daytona Beach, Florida. That was my first job as a newspaper reporter, but I didn't last more than a year there. And then I went to where I grew up, Fort Lauderdale, and then eventually it led me out to Los Angeles.
Was there ever a feeling that you just had to stay in this, that you wanted to keep doing it, or
the newspaper business? There was a period of time when I was getting published, my books were getting published, and I thought I needed that press pass still, because what I was seeing on the job as a reporter was feeding into my books, and it was a mistake. It was a false idea. So I stayed as a reporter much longer than I needed to, and as soon as I finally said I got to concentrate or focus full time on writing my novels, and left, I realized that my access actually improved.
What's the best thing about walking around a police detective room?
The dialogue, the stuff you hear, the way they tell stories, the way they talk.
And that stuck with you?
I hope so. I mean, yeah, it's always, you know, what you're looking for as a reporter is quite different from what you're looking for as a novelist. But I always had in the back of my mind this ulterior motive. I want to write about this in fiction one day, so I was always putting stuff in my back pocket.
Did they let you on the other side of the yellow tape?
On occasion. You know, that's a thing you have to sort of earn. You know, you build sources and so forth. So it didn't happen very often, but sometimes it did.
Did they let you on the other side of the tape when you were?
It took me a long time. I wasn't a journalist, so you know, I was just a guy making calls. Can I come hang out with you guys? That sort of thing. And the answer was always no. What happened for me, and it was relatively late in my career, was I got involved with the show The Wire on HBO, and the police love that show. And mainly they love it because we crap on the brass all the time, their bosses. And, you know, it was just that easy. I called up, and instead of saying I'm a novelist, you know, so-and-so, I'm a writer and producer of The Wire. I'd like to come hang out with you guys. By all means, come on down tomorrow.